Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Let me turn it up a little bit. I want you to be able to talk naturally. Go ahead, talk naturally.
Check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2.
I would say Miss Perez and Miss Dora.
Definitely Miss Todd Dixon, my aunt. She's helped and supported me all throughout the school year, and my coaches as well.
My biggest inspiration has been my family for pushing me to get good grades and stay positive throughout my high school years.
I would say my biggest inspiration has been my dad, because he's always pushed me to do better and to keep going on.
My biggest inspiration has been Abby Lee Miller, because she has taught me to be a perfectionist and to embrace myself.
My biggest inspiration has definitely been my mom for always encouraging me to try my best.
Probably my parents. They've been really supportive and honestly really excited about me graduating and moving on to college. And they're really excited for what I'm going to do with my future.
My biggest inspiration has been definitely my family. I'm so blessed to say that it's been more than just my parents, even though they were such a big factor in my life, always motivating me and encouraging me to do my best. But it was my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins as well.
Miss Wood. She's always helped me with anything I needed.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has probably been my parents.
My biggest inspiration is definitely my dad, because he's always on top of me about my grades.
My sister.
Me.
My biggest inspiration is probably my parents, because they try really hard to get me through high school, and they basically motivate me. Yeah.
I would say it's my mom. She's honestly my biggest supporter. She supports me in everything I've wanted to do, especially going out really far for college and just like my whole dream in general. She's always been super supportive, and I thank her so much for that.
Playboy Cardi.
My biggest inspiration has been my parents, because they pushed me to be better.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has definitely been my mom. She always keeps me motivated when I'm sad, and I do a lot of stuff for her to give her the stuff that she didn't have. So.
My biggest inspiration from my high school journey, I think it has to be my 11th and 10th grade math teacher, Mr. Guerra. I really enjoyed learning in his class, which is rare because I usually hate math. And he also has a very infectious enthusiasm that I hope to be like him in the future.
My biggest inspiration has been my family, because they motivate me to be better every day.
Miss Allen.
My biggest inspirations have been my teachers, like Miss Wood and Mr. Guerra, because they're always so kind and welcoming.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey are my parents. They supported me through the whole way.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey, I would say, have to be probably Lucky and myself.
My biggest inspiration has been my parents.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has been my grandmother and my aunt, because they're such hardworking women.
I'd have to say my biggest inspiration has been my parents, I feel like, because they've supported me throughout my entire high school career.
My biggest inspiration has been both my parents.
I think probably my brother and my sister. They have both accomplished so much, and they inspire me to do better myself.
My biggest inspiration has been Miss Fontina. She's really inspired me to want to be a veterinarian, and has really pushed me to go outside of my comfort zone and do things that I probably wouldn't have done without her.
My mom, my brother, and my dad.
My biggest inspiration has been my mom, because no matter what, she always tells me to never give up and to accomplish all my goals and to become the nurse I want to be.
I would say my mom for pushing me every single day.
My biggest inspiration has been my parents and my sister helping me when I'm struggling in school.
Ian. I would say my parents and my friends. They really helped kind of keep me on track and moving in the right direction.
My biggest inspiration are my mom or my parents. They've really pushed me and moved me forward along. I was struggling with getting stuff together, and they really helped out with that.
Throughout my high school journey, my biggest inspiration has been both of my parents through all their hard work and sacrifices.
My biggest inspiration was Mr. Seifert.
I think my parents have been the biggest inspiration for me.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey have been my sisters. They have been overachievers and encouraged me to do well, so they push me.
My biggest inspiration has been my mom, my grandma, and my dad. Just
being able to accomplish their dreams and live on through them and everything has been great.
My mom has probably been the biggest inspiration.
My biggest inspiration, I would say, is probably my mom for always, being there to support me throughout the year.
Both my parents and my sister.
My biggest inspiration is my sister Audrey because she always helped me do all my work and she pushes me to be my best.
Probably my mom, because of how hard she works to provide for me and my family.
My biggest inspiration has been my family and my friends.
I would say my family, including my mom and dad.
My biggest inspiration is my dad, who helped me academically and also with my sports.
I would probably have to say Miss McDonald.
I would have to say my parents, my mom and dad.
I would say my mom. She's helped me so much throughout my whole entire life, and she just pushes me so much, encourages, and motivates me. My mom and dad.
My biggest inspiration would probably have to be everyone in my family.
I think my parents and my sisters were the biggest inspiration for me.
My last 4 years, my biggest inspiration has been my mom and my dad.
My biggest inspiration has been my friends, my family, and myself.
My mother.
My mom and my family, they've always supported me throughout everything.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey was probably my parents. They were always hard workers and I tried to continue that.
My biggest inspiration, probably Jack Swinteringer. He taught me a lot, I'll say that.
My cats.
My family.
I think my mom, because she always gives me really good advice.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey would be my mom.
My biggest inspiration has been my friends Sydney, Tori, and Gracie, and my brother.
My biggest inspiration has been Mr. Wolford because he's been my gym teacher for basically all of high school, and he's been helping us get better and get stronger.
I gotta say my dad, he's inspired me to get better grades and just show up to school every day and just, prepare myself for my future.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has been my parents because of the unconditional support they've given me.
Probably Mr. Seifert. He's just always being helpful, always helping guide you through the process of working and all that.
My biggest inspiration has been my family.
My biggest inspiration has been my parents, especially after everything that they have done for me.
Who has been your biggest inspiration throughout your high school journey?
Probably Mr. Canfield because he was the person who inspired me to want to be an engineer because he was a really nice guy, and he's the reason why I'm going to Dell Tech for engineering.
My biggest inspiration throughout my whole school year would really be my parents for helping me getting up in the morning.
I would say my biggest inspiration has been my parents because they're always supporting me and encouraging me in whatever I do, and also Miss Holloway because she's such an amazing teacher, coach, and just person.
I would say my biggest inspiration through my high school journey has to be Mr. Von Fricken. He taught me how to be confident with my music and singing, and he's really fun to be around, and the environment that he creates throughout his classes is really, really nice.
My biggest inspiration would be my parents.
My mom. My parent. My biggest inspiration has definitely been my parents.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey is my family.
My mom.
I think my biggest inspiration has been my parents. They've always pushed me to go above and beyond, be an example for other people, and just do my absolute best, and just do the best I can.
Definitely my mom. She hasn't been to college, but she wants to go back to college. So I'm not going to college, but she definitely pushes me to do better in school. Even though I don't do as well, but it's fine.
My mom has been my biggest inspiration.
My biggest inspiration is LeBron James because his longevity of being great and his high character.
My biggest inspiration has been Coach Seth.
My biggest inspiration has been my parents.
My parents.
My biggest inspiration is definitely my parents. They work really hard for me physically and put a lot of effort and restraint on themselves just to make sure that I have the best life possible, and I try to reflect that by working as hard as I can in Conrad and in other places.
My parents have been my biggest inspiration because they motivate me to be better every day.
I think my biggest inspirations throughout my high school journey was both my brothers because
They both had the same pathway that I had, and they continued to go on into college, which was a big inspiration to me because it showed me the direction that I'm going will be, like, it'll work out in the end the same way that it worked out for them.
Who has been your biggest inspiration throughout your high school journey?
I would say Mr. Seifert has been the biggest inspiration for me. I've had him all 4 years, and he's helped me through a lot during school.
I don't really have like a specific person who inspired me, like at all. I think the biggest inspiration that I had was the fear of failure, low-key. Like the fear of like failing high school, and that in and of itself was my biggest inspiration to keep going through high school.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey would be Mr. Canfield and Miss Wood, and also my family, because they just like taught me to be resilient in my studies and to keep pushing forward.
I would say that my mom is my biggest inspiration just because she showed me what it's like to push through the hard moments.
Probably my mom, because she's told me that setbacks are really temporary and she wants me to push for my greatest success.
Probably my friends and family that have helped me throughout my high school year.
I think my biggest inspiration would be my mom, because she's usually there for me for everything whenever I need.
Throughout my high school journey, my biggest inspiration was my mother.
My biggest inspiration has been my sister. She has taught me a lot throughout my high school experience, and she supported me through everything I've gone through, and she has and will keep supporting me through what my future is ahead.
Throughout my journey, my mom has been the biggest inspiration for me, and my Chinese teacher, Ms. Chang.
My biggest inspiration is definitely my mom and my best friends.
Definitely like my mom and my dad. They put me in this school. I didn't want to go originally, but now that I'm here, I really like it.
My biggest inspiration has definitely been Cheyenne, Sydney, and Gracie, just because they've helped me through high school.
I feel like my biggest inspiration would be my brothers, just because like for my older brother, I basically do everything he does, push myself to be as good as a role model as him, and then for my younger brother, always trying to be a good role model for him and be there for him when he needs me.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has been my dad.
My biggest inspiration has been both of my sisters just trying to follow in their path.
Garfield the cat.
My biggest inspiration is my parents and my faith in God, which helped me to be strengthened. At times I felt overwhelmed. And my parents were really motivated. They supported me at times. So, yeah.
I would probably say my mom and Mr. Canfield because they've always inspired me to do better and work hard.
Probably Mr. McLean. I've had a lot of great experiences with him, especially in the classroom. I've had 2 classes with him, but he's always been there.
I'm gonna say my sister, because she just inspired me to do my best.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has to be my dad for always setting a good example and always being there for me when I need to talk about something.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has been my younger brother. He just turned 13, and we have the same disability, the same disorder, and just being able to help him and help carry him throughout his early middle school and soon to be high school years it's been a lot of fun, and it just inspires me that something about helping him just inspires me, and I just want to be a good role model and I want to lead by example.
My parents have probably been my biggest inspiration throughout high school just because they've always supported me in everything I've ever done.
My biggest inspiration has probably been Miss Fontina.
I would definitely say my dad was supporting me with everything through like baseball and school as well.
My biggest inspiration has been my whole family.
My grandfather.
My parents.
I think my biggest inspiration was kind of myself and the idea of who I wanted to be by the time I graduated. I had a lot of goals that I set up through high school, and I managed to meet most of them, and that was really inspiring.
My biggest inspiration during my high school journey has been my mom. She's helped me with everything. She's been a big inspiration.
My biggest inspiration has probably been my mom because she's always instilled in me that education is really important, and I've tried to follow through with that, as well as my friends because they're always encouraging me and pushing me to be better when they're really full of themselves.
I'll definitely miss softball and volleyball and making memories with my teammates.
Something that I missed the most from high school would be the friendships that I made, which began based off seeing people every day, which then turned into the deepest and most meaningful relationships.
Something that I'll miss most about high school is my chemistry teacher, Mr. Pappas.
Something I'll miss the most is definitely just like the familiarity of it, like walking around the halls, seeing the same people, and yeah.
Probably the connections I made with the teachers and yeah, probably the connections I made with my teachers.
Probably my friends. All the friends that I made.
I'll definitely miss my friends, the environment, and waking up a new day to new opportunities.
Something I missed the most in high school was Mr. Seifert's class. Good memories, and taught me a lot, great opportunities, things like that.
I'll miss the football team and the bond that we all had together.
Something I'll miss the most from my high school is my field trip in animal science where we went to the Philadelphia Zoo, and it was fun because I got to see all the animals.
Definitely like the people, like friends and teachers, and spending time with them.
I think Conrad itself, this is my 7th year here, so I've spent almost half of my childhood in this building, so I think it's just a part of me now.
Something I miss the most from high school is sitting in class with my friends, laughing, talking, even if we talked a little too much. But it's those special moments that really make high school, and I'm so happy I get to graduate among such amazing people.
Something I miss the most from playing high school is playing baseball with all my friends.
I'll miss seeing my friends every day, and yeah, that's about it.
I'm definitely gonna miss playing soccer with all my friends and hanging out with all my friends.
Doing marching band. One thing I'll probably miss is like some of my teachers, like Mr. Canfield.
I'll miss my friends mainly, because a lot of us probably aren't going to the same colleges, and it's gonna be kind of awkward making new friends like after high school.
Something I'll miss the most about high school is definitely animal science. It's honestly one of the best classes, and such an amazing teacher like Miss Fontina really makes it enjoyable, and I love going in there and learning and just having fun with my friends because I have a really close group there as well.
The thing I miss the most is probably my friends and like the school events like the pep rally and prom and homecoming.
Something I'll miss the most from high school is definitely being on the track team and definitely my friends, especially Gianni and London. I love them the most, and Elena and Tally.
I think the thing I'll miss the most in high school has to be working in the barn in animal science. I enjoy like physical labor tasks with simple directions. I can do that very well. And I like to work with animals alongside my friends. And I always look forward to that class every single time I have that day.
The most I'm gonna miss about high school is Miss Crow and Miss Nichols.
Probably my friends and gym.
I'll miss my biomed class. You already know who you are, but I've had such fun there and made such great memories with you guys, so.
Something I'll miss the most through high school are just the special events that we have.
I just gonna miss seeing my homeboys, hanging out with them, pretty much.
Something I'll miss the most is probably hanging out with all of my friends.
The most from high school is the sports teams and Tally and Gianni.
Most likely my friends, because I built a lot of great relationships in my 4 years, this school and at my other schools, so yeah.
Something I miss the most from high school has been my teachers.
Probably I'll miss walking around the halls with Carson during lunch when we should probably be in someone's classroom or in the cafeteria.
One thing I'll miss the most from high school is probably Spirit Week, because I feel like that's when all the kids really come together and just have a whole week of fun.
I'll miss like every moment I have with my friends, like at lunch and after school.
Something I miss from high school will be having Mr. Flynn as my teacher, because he will always give me good advice for the future and he will always make me and my friends laugh.
School lunch. I'm gonna miss playing sports and connecting with all my teachers.
Mr. Wolf. Probably my pathway. I made a lot of good friends and learned a lot of things in it.
The thing I'll miss the most is
Probably the teachers. They really like push you and try to get you where you want to go, and they want your best. Like they really want you to succeed.
Something I'll miss the most from high school are the connections I've made with others.
Probably miss Spirit Week because it was the best week in Conrad history.
Not having to be an adult, I think.
I'll miss the wrestling program. Coach Brainerd, he has been very encouraging to girls wrestling, and he's always been there for us.
I'll miss seeing all my friends daily and just the community here and building and learning more stuff.
I'll miss my friends and then the sports teams that I was on in high school.
Something I miss the most, probably the pep rallies, just because the sense of community.
Definitely my friends, especially the ones I've known for a long time, and spring sports season.
The thing I'll miss the most is passing by all my teachers and friends, and especially Miss Gillen in the hallway.
Probably playing video games in Mr. Wolf's class with my friends.
Probably my friends and the teachers.
Especially my friends and like just school events.
The thing I'll miss the most from high school is probably school dances.
Probably my friends and the pep rallies.
Probably football and wrestling.
I'll miss all the memories that I've had with everybody, all the new friends I made, all the connections, all the things that I did. It was so wonderful. I did HOSA, I did Black Student Union, I did track. You know, like all these experiences is really like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna start crying. Can we go to the next question, please?
My friends, making them laugh and making me laugh.
The friendships I've made throughout school and the bonds that everyone connects with.
I'll miss the animal science classroom because I got a lot of preparation there and I want to be a vet.
I'll miss the Saturday morning football games.
Probably my social life and like going to like the dances and just being able to see my friends every day.
Biomed.
I'm gonna miss all my friends and cheerleading.
Something I miss the most from high school is probably all the little things like talking to my friends during classes or in the parking lot after school.
Basketball.
My teachers. I'm gonna miss Mr. McFarlane and the teachers.
The teachers.
Something I'll probably miss the most from high school is probably going to be prom.
Something I'll miss the most is the teachers that I've built friendships with, like Miss Wood or Miss Glenn or Mr. Guerra.
Something I'll miss the most is field day, like back in like 11th grade, because like we got to go outside and like I got to hang out with everybody that I don't usually hang out with.
I really like the PT like interactive stuff we did. I'll miss that. I'll miss my friends, obviously, seeing them every day. And I'll just miss learning.
I'll miss just hanging out with my friends the most.
Spending time in Mr. Wolf's class junior year, just playing games.
Something I'll miss the most is my daily interactions with my friends.
Something that I will miss the most is being able to go to Mrs. Scar's class and being able to talk to her during my free periods.
Probably just hanging out with my friends on a regular basis. I remember last year, since seniors leave in May, I realized June of last year when I was like hanging around in Mr. Wolf's, joking around with friends, I would never get that kind of experience again in my life, and that's something I'll definitely miss, is just being able to go every other day, see my friends, that kind of thing.
The thing I'll miss from high school is messing around Mr. Wolf's class in the morning and just really doing anything in his class.
I think I'm gonna miss the sports teams that I've been a part of, so cross country and track, just because of the community that it's been and the friends that I've made.
I think I'll miss my friends the most and being able to joke around with them a lot and, you know, be around them, because I feel like when I graduate, I don't know where we're all going and if we're gonna be separated or if we'll talk anymore, but I feel like I'll miss them the most.
I think I'll miss the most spending time with my friends and my teachers.
The soccer team. My friend. I'll miss playing sports with my friends and my friends in general.
I would say the golf team.
Gym class.
I think from high school, I really miss like everything, like just from like the structure of being able to know like exactly what you're gonna do every single day and having like the like a smaller circle of people, but then also just like the people in general, like all my teachers, all my friends, like even people that I don't really talk to like that much, just seeing them every day, it kind of, you build like a family of the people that you're around. So I think I'll miss that the most, definitely.
Definitely my friends. Building my car, all that. Just being young.
I'll definitely miss the biotech fair because it's been so fun finding projects and just experimenting them with Mr. Coughlin and my teammates.
Playing basketball and being around the friends that I've been with for the past 4 years.
Playing football.
I think I'm gonna miss the most my friendships here at Conrad.
Probably my friends.
Definitely the community. Like I've met new people, and these people I see like 5 times a day or 5 times a week, and it's just something that I'll miss. There's so many memories that I've made with the people and many friends, and some of them I'm gonna know for longer.
I'm gonna miss all the memories I've made with my friends throughout the years.
I think the thing I'll miss the most is just being able to have fun with my friends through like different classes, like doing work with them and like laughing through the boring classes and like all the fun we were able to make out of boring situations.
I probably miss being in Mr. Wolf's class.
I think I'll miss the I think the overall feeling. I think that the overall feeling of high school, and like first of all, like the first day of school. I think that's like really that's like a feeling I can't even describe. It's like it's so exciting, but it's so confusing, and it's so scary, but it's like exciting at the same time. I think I'll miss that. Yeah.
Something I'd miss the most, I think, would be like seeing my friends every day and like just meeting like new people. But new people there. Yeah.
Something I probably miss the most from high school is probably my wrestling coach, Coach Brainerd, just because he's taught me a lot of lessons off the mat as well as on the mat, and I really have to thank him for everything.
Probably my friends from Biomed and just hanging out with them all the time.
Being able to spend time with friends and just goof around, and definitely I'm gonna miss my favorite teacher, Mr. B, who has helped me a lot throughout my whole high school year.
I think I'm gonna miss my friends the most since I'm moving far away.
Something I'll miss the most from high school is the friendships and relationships I built throughout the way.
I'm gonna miss the most my teacher, Mr. Flynn. I've had him since the 10th grade, and he just has made my experience here at Conrad better.
The teachers I experienced, like Ms. McDonald and Ms. Chang and Mr. Seifert.
The most thing I'll miss from high school is definitely all the fun times that we have here in the school.
Any class I've ever had with Dr. P or Mr. Parker.
Definitely the before and after parts of getting ready for the dances. They were really fun.
What I'll miss the most of high school would be definitely my football friends and just like playing around with them in the locker room, or the bus rides after games, or even the locker room after games. I feel like I'm gonna miss that probably the rest of my life.
Something I'll miss the most from high school is my friends.
I'm most likely gonna miss homecoming the most.
Lunch with my friends.
I'll miss the bus rides I take with my friend Trini, and all my teachers. I love them all.
I'm going to miss my friends and the amazing teachers we have here at Conrad and how much they've helped me through this experience of high school.
Something I'll miss the most from high school is probably my friends and Mr. Wolf.
I gotta say the teachers and just the environment here.
The thing I'll miss the most from high school is probably my friends in younger grades that won't be going to college with me.
Mr. Pappas. I'll miss Mr. Pappas a lot.
I'll just miss being able to see my friends every day.
I'll probably miss the hands-on experiences I've gotten in the animal science pathway.
I would definitely say my friend group, my group of guys going to college. I don't think I'm going to be there with them as much, so it's been nice to have everybody around for like 4 years.
Something I'll miss the most is Miss Valentina and all the animals in her classroom and what I've been able to learn from her.
my lack of responsibilities.
My friend group.
I think I'll miss the community the most. Walking the hallways and in classes, I see a lot of familiar and friendly faces. I've built a lot of good connections here, and I'm gonna miss that. I'm also gonna miss marching band and swim team. Those are events and clubs that I've loved being a part of. And yeah.
Brett Kennedy and Joshua Riley.
I'll probably miss AP Chem. That was my favorite class I took at Conrad. Everyone was so fun, and it really challenged me, and I just really missed that class.
My favorite moment was my senior game. This year, we were going up against an 8-2 team, the best team in the league, and for my senior night, we pulled out a 5-4 overtime win, which was really nice.
My favorite moment at Conrad is definitely the field day during my junior year. They brought back field day, and it gave me lots of memories from my elementary years, and it was honestly an unexpected surprise, and I loved every moment of it.
Getting here, low key, and that like also went into the fear of failing, because I wasn't coming here because of like personal issues, and like that messed up a lot of the things that like could have like improved a lot in high school. But then it was over, and now I'm here, and now things are a lot better, and I don't have that fear anymore, and now I'm here, and I like high school, and I wish I was here more, because I think I would have had a better experience than I thought I would have.
My proudest accomplishment is winning 2 times girls state championship for wrestling. That was a big moment in my high school career. I'd like to thank Miss Wood throughout my high school journey for teaching me all these years. My biggest inspiration has been my mom because I want to make her proud.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey would have to be my peers.
My biggest inspiration throughout my high school journey has been my parents.
Definitely my parents have been my biggest inspiration throughout everything. My mom and dad, they always just push me to be the best version of myself.
My biggest inspiration would be my friends. My peers, maybe my teachers, perhaps.
I would say Miss Perez.
I would say Miss Perez and Miss Dorda.
Definitely Miss Todd Dixon, my aunt. She's helped and supported me all throughout the school year, and my coaches as well.
My biggest inspiration has been my family for pushing me to get good grades and stay positive throughout my high school years.
I would say my biggest inspiration has been my dad, because he's always pushed me to do better and to keep going on.
My biggest inspiration has been Abby Lee Miller, because she has taught me to be a perfectionist and to embrace myself.
My biggest inspiration has definitely been my mom for always encouraging me to try my best.
Probably my parents. They've been really supportive and honestly really excited about me graduating and moving on to college. And they're really excited for what I'm going to do with my future.
My biggest inspiration has been definitely my family. I'm so blessed to say that it's been more than just my parents, even though they were such a big factor in my life, always motivating me and encouraging me to do my best. But it was my grandparents, aunts, uncles, and cousins.
please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Is she not telling them to sit down? Good afternoon. My name is Zion Powell, and I'm the president of Conrad Schools of Science class of 2026. Welcome to our 2026 commencement exercises. At this time, I would like to introduce you to our principal, Ms. Kendra Todd Dixon.
Good afternoon, parents, guardians, families, friends, distinguished guests, faculty, staff, and most importantly, the class of 2026. I would like to welcome you to the Chase Fieldhouse in the 16th commencement exercises for Conrad Schools of Science. We are happy to have everyone here today to share in this special occasion. And while this is a day of great joy and one you have waited many years to celebrate, it is also important to note and remember that this is also a solemn ceremony. And so while appropriate applause is acceptable, it is our expectation that we will save horns, hooting, and hollering for post-ceremonial events and parties. I also ask that you remember to respect all speakers, including student speakers. Most importantly, please respect not only your graduate as their name is announced and they cross the stage, but also respect the graduate in front and the graduate behind. And finally, at the end of the ceremony, we ask that all guests remain seated until the graduates have exited the arena floor. Guests, you will be exiting using the rear doors on the sides of the stage. You will not be exiting out the front. You'll be exiting out the rear. At this time, it is my honor to introduce our distinguished guests joining us on stage this afternoon. First, are members of the Red Clay Board of Education, President Mr. Victor Leonard Sr., Vice President Ms. Susan Sander, Board Member Mr. Devin Henson, Board Member Mr. Jose Matthews, and from our Red Clay Consolidated School District Senior Administrative Staff joining us, we have Superintendent of the Red Clay Consolidated School District, Dr. Darrell Green, Senior Director of Secondary Education, Mr. Mark Pruitt, our Chief Communications Officer, Ms. Alva Mobley, and from Conrad Schools of Science joining us this afternoon, we have Assistant Principal, Ms. Monica Mallon, Assistant Principal, Mr. Joe Rappa, Lead Teacher, Ms. Katrina Holloway, our Athletic Director, Mr. Matthew Brainerd, and certainly last but not least, our Faculty Advisor to the Class of 2026, Ms. Martha Perez. On the floor leading our graduates this afternoon, it's Conrad Counselor, Ms. Kirsten Coughlin. And guiding our commencement exercises from the back of the arena is Student Advisor, Ms. Erin Doyle, and Conrad teacher, Mr. Evan Cabasco. One additional detail I would like to also take a moment to acknowledge, as it is something deeply symbolic in today's ceremony, the red clay ceremonial mace. It was carried at the head of our procession by our superintendent, Dr. Darrell Green. The mace led our graduates into this momentous occasion. It does so not only with pride, but with purpose, signifying the weight of a tradition, the unity of our district, and serving as a commanding emblem of excellence and the enduring spirit of education. At the top, you'll see the sculpted flame rising, symbolizing the light of knowledge, innovation, and passion that burns in the hearts of every student who walks through our doors and every educator that guides them. Just below the red clay schoolhouse anchors the mace, a proud symbol of community and learning, etched in the crown or the emblems of our 5 high schools, representing pillars of leadership, scholarship, and opportunity. A tradition that reflects who we are, what we value, and the enduring legacy we will pass to each of you as you cross this stage and step boldly into your futures. Thank you. Once again, I invite Mr. Zion Powell back to the podium to lead us in our exercises.
Please welcome Dr. Darrell Green, Red Clay Consolidated School District Superintendent.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon. We're here to celebrate the Conrad Schools of Science class of 2026. Let them hear it. I would say we can do better than that. I know we can. But to the class of 2026, first I want to thank our family members, our partners, our guardians. On behalf of the Red Clay Consolidated School District, thank you for entrusting the social, educational, well-rounded opportunity that each graduate has received and will be walking across this stage. It's duly in part to the relationships that you've helped us build and form. So to our families and graduates, please give it up to your family members and the communities that's here to support you. So today is a celebration, but it's more than that. Today is a transition into the next phase of your life. For some, there may be still some level of uncertainty. Others may have clarity around where you're headed, whether that's college, directly into the workforce, military, taking a gap year. Just know, graduates, that you've spent, some of you since 6th grade, coming all the way through Conrad, years preparing for this day. You've completed assignments, taken exams, participated in activities, made friendships, overcome obstacles, learned both inside, outside of the classroom, and now you find yourselves seated, soon to be standing, at a crossroad. Some of you know exactly what's coming next, while others are still planning that out. But what I need you to know is that you do not have to have it all figured out as you sit here today. So give yourself grace, because again, change is inevitable, but you need to learn to manage the transition. So 3 points I would hope you take away with you as you go on to this next phase. First, know who you are. And what I mean by who you are, know the values, the character, the principles that not only your family has instilled in you, but that Conrad has instilled in you. You're now entering a world where we know social media will tell you who you should be. Friends will encourage you to do things that may not necessarily align to your core values. You'll get opportunities from employers, college applications, different things that may steer you in a way that doesn't sit well with your core. So when life is telling you to go left, but your intuition is telling you to go right, trust your instincts, rely on that character that your families and Conrad has instilled in you. The second point, don't allow comparison to steal your joy. Someone will always appear to be moving faster. Someone will always seem to be more successful. Someone always will look like they have it all together. But comparison is a distraction from the journey that you've now set yourself on. Run your own race, celebrate your progress, and trust your timeline. Your path was never intended to look exactly like someone else's. And the third and final point, embrace change. Again, because change is inevitable. What today looks like, tomorrow is going to bring something completely different. Your challenge is to manage and master the transitions. Life will not always go as the plan. Sometimes you'll have to start over. Don't fear change, learn from it, grow through it, and allow it to shape you. Graduates, we're extremely proud of you. We celebrate you today. We send you into the world with love. And remember this, the measure of your life will not be determined by how long you remain in comfortable seasons, but by who you become while navigating the transitions between them. Class of 2026, we're extremely proud of you. Again, we send you out in the world with love, and may God bless each and every one of you. We celebrate you today.
Thank you, Dr. Green. At this time, I would like to invite our first student speaker afternoon to the stage. Please welcome Sydney O'Connor, member of the class.
Fast, focused, strong. This is my favorite mantra I've adopted during my time as a runner at Conrad. Not because it's a phrase of motivation or encouragement, but because it's a plan, a commitment. I'm not sure how many of you know this, but a cross-country race is a 5K. 3 miles, almost always on a secluded path in the woods, in a wide open field, or just in the middle of nowhere. Sometimes during a race, it gets lonely, quiet. It's times like these that having a mantra to ground your thinking and keep you centered is crucial. Fast, focused, strong was introduced to me when I first joined the cross-country team my junior year. It's a representation of the race, each word describing each of the 3 miles. Mile 1, you want to get out fast. Be smart, but do what you can to make a move, secure your position, and set yourself up for success. Mile 2, you want to stay focused. Settle in, find your pace, and keep yourself moving. Drive your knees, pump your arms, and keep your head up. Mile 3, you want to finish strong. Push through the pain, give it everything you've got, and finish on empty. Leave it all on the line. This mantra is perfectly designed to get you through a race. It sets a plan and keeps you committed. But as I conclude this chapter of my life and prepare to start another, I'm realizing that fast, focused, strong is so much more than a race plan. Just like the remote woods of a cross-country race, starting over can be lonely, quiet. In a few months, I'll be starting over at a new school, in a new state, with new people. I'd be lying if I said I knew exactly what that's going to look like or that I've got it all figured out. But I do have a plan. One that I've only ever applied to racing a 5K, but now, as I look towards the future, can apply to new beginnings. Change can be intimidating, but fear feeds on delay. The longer you hesitate to make a move, the more permanent change can seem. Fast helps you be adaptable and take a step towards change instead of letting it scare you away. Take the class, join the club, set the goal, make a move. Be smart, but do what you can to set yourself up for success. Be fast. Fear scatters your attention into a dozen possible outcomes. Focused reminds you to stay grounded and take one day at a time. Starting new can be overwhelming, but focus on moving forward. Settle in, find your pace, and keep your head up. Be focused. Fresh starts also require strength, endurance, determination. Strong commits you to tolerating the unknown, pushing through hardship, and getting comfortable with being uncomfortable in order to adapt and overcome. You must always give anything you do your full effort, leave it all on the line. Be strong. Change is scary. It promises uncertainty, discomfort, and starting over in a place unknown. Most people think starting over means losing everything, but this isn't true. It means carrying your experience into a new environment. You aren't starting from zero, you're starting from experience. Cross country has taught me many things, but my mantra is what I'll take with me on my journey of starting over, and I encourage you, class of 2026, to do the same. Start fast, stay focused, and always be strong. Thank you.
Please welcome our second student speaker, Atlee Yetter, member of the class.
My senior quote, had we had them, most likely would have been, "Now that you don't have to be perfect, you can be good," from John Steinbeck's East of Eden. In this moment, a character named Lee is reassuring another character named Abra after she shares her fear of becoming like her flawed family. I read East of Eden last year in AP Literature, not expecting it to become my favorite standalone book. I have dozens of quotes saved from it. In fact, that one is in my Instagram bio because it speaks to me so much. It reflects the book's central theme of Tim Shell, or thou mayest, the belief that individuals have the power to change and choose a different path. This idea came back to me when I opened my freshman year letter on decision day. I thought I remembered what I wrote. I remember scribbling questions to my future self, feeling very nervous about being in a new school after skipping 8th grade and moving across the country. I even referenced that experience in my Common App essay. But when I opened the letter, I didn't see questions. I saw neat, careful handwriting. The tone was robotic and overly polished. At one point, I'd written something like, "I will probably be the shortest person in my friend group, even though before I had been one of the tallest." I read that and thought, what are you even talking about? I'd rewritten the entire letter and completely forgotten. I was so self-conscious of my own thoughts that I'd even used whiteout in a letter that no one else was ever supposed to read. Trying to get everything right the first time followed me through high school. I had a slump in sophomore year that felt overwhelming at the time, even though it was really just a small bump. I got stuck in this mindset of, why should I start anything now? I could have started days, months, or years ago. I could have been perfect by now. And for some odd reason, that mindset never helped me start anything at all. What I had to learn over and over again was that something was better than nothing. The time will pass anyway. I still think about whether I'm doing enough or if I'm a good person in ways that are harder to measure than grades or AP scores. That hasn't really gone away. But I've started to notice that the version of me who's constantly keeping score isn't the version of me that actually grows. The moments I feel most like myself aren't the ones where everything's perfect. They're the ones where I just start, where I try, where I say yes before I fully convince myself I deserve to be there. I finally joined a D&D campaign after wanting to play for years. I held leadership positions in 2 honor societies in Conrad that I'd second-guessed applying to. I stood up and spoke publicly more times than I can count through Model UN and Youth in Government. I joined Conrad's Math League junior year and stuck with it even though I got most questions wrong. This past December, I started participating in scouting through a venturing crew, something I never imagined myself doing. And next year, at UD, I already have my eye on numerous clubs to check out, ways to keep volunteering in my community, and new people to meet. I'm even considering an art minor just because I know I can. I think my most important takeaway from high school is that you have to choose yourself. Goodness isn't a flawless state. It's a choice you make again and again. Thou mayest. Thank you.
Please welcome to the stage Oscar Acuna Aguilar, class of 2026 valedictorian.
Good afternoon. Welcome, class of 2026. And good evening to you parents, guardians, grandparents, teachers, whoever you are. You're here because you're proud and in a mix of emotions because that special someone is graduating today. I stand here surrounded by faces I've seen from 4 to 7 years, and I think to myself, how lucky am I to have friends who make saying goodbye so hard? We all have our own stories, and if there's anything I've learned from Conrad, or even just listening to everyone's senior speech, it is that all of us have a story worth telling. So here's a page out of my story. As a freshman, I walked into this school being told that we're in charge of our own future and given so many paths to take. I told myself that I was always going to shoot my shot and never let these opportunities pass me by. Then when I actually started, I stepped back. I found myself being so conscientious of what other people thought of me, I let it dictate my life. Wanting to fit in with other people, trying to appeal to everyone had honestly consumed me more than getting my work done. But as I grew up, I found people in my life who truly cared for me and showed up in times to cheer me up when I couldn't stand being anywhere other than my room. From all the Conrad games I went to all the times I spent in class just joking with my friends, to even having heated debates over what's for lunch, these are some of the memories that I'll miss most. I can see that I have changed as a person, not because I stopped caring, but because I started to understand that everyone carries more than just what I can see. Sonder is defined as the realization that every individual passerby has a life just as vivid and complex as my own. So I can recognize I won't ever know the silent battles people are fighting, even the people I think I'm the closest to. And even though I've been surrounded by these familiar faces, my only regret is not getting to know just how interesting everyone's life is. People often assume that being valedictorian, I must have spent every waking moment focused on my grades. But if you see me in school, you probably never be seeing me doing my written work. I'm always the type of person to enjoy a good conversation and a hands-on group project over doing a packet. What really drove me to achieve is my curiosity, my drive to want to know more about the world, to want to know the most insignificant things. But it didn't come at a cost because it also drove me to learn more about all of you. And if you're going to take any advice, is to keep that curiosity with you to make even better stories. I want to thank my parents for bringing me up into this life. Gracias por enseñarme a lo que es amor. Thank you to my friends for being my example and bringing out the best in me. Thank you to all my teachers, like Mrs. Wood, who always kept the door open to hear me talk about sports, major events, or even just what's for lunch. Special thanks to Charlie Shute for always making me laugh and cheering me on, but for also being a friend I could always count on. And as we close this high school chapter, I want to end with this quote by Tiny Buddha. Even though you didn't make it to the end of my story, I'll always have the corner folded down in your page, as it was one of my favorites. So as we go our separate ways, try not to forget that every person in this room has a story worth telling. Thank you.
I have a bit of an advantage when it comes to senior speeches. As a member of the Conrad band, I've attended every graduation of my high school career. I've seen each of the past three senior classes walk into the sounds of pomp and circumstance, grab their diplomas, and do the infamous cap toss that we'll all do in the turf field back there. And my favorite part of them all, I've heard the speeches that the students gave on the most important day of their lives up to that point. From class of 23 valedictorian Nathan Cho, the first senior speech I'd ever heard, to class of 24's Emily Rodriguez's story about her tribulations as an immigrant and first generation scholar, to just last year when class of 25 President Adriana Pesci spoke about how the little girl with the heart disease still managed to fall in love with softball. I love seeing the students varying in social statuses, hobbies, beliefs and values, and economic backgrounds come together and pour their hearts into something that represented their last 4 or even 7 years as Conrad Schools of Science students. All of these speeches had something in common, interestingly enough. With all of their different paths and takes on their lives, they all included one part of their academic journey at Conrad, AP Seminar. As random as it sounds, through all the different topics and focuses of the speeches over the years, Mrs. Toner's or Mrs. Holloway's classes always came up at least once. And ironically, in AP Seminar, we learn about the importance of perspective. All of those speakers, as well as all the speakers today, all of you sitting in front of me, all of your teachers and your friends and your families, we all have a different perspective on everything, be it political ideologies, your favorite color or food, or even how you view yourselves or how you view me. We all see the world through different lenses. During my time at Conrad, I've learned about many of your lenses throughout the years, and increasingly so the past few weeks listening to your senior speeches. As I said before, seeing how you all have changed and grown as students, athletes, workers, and people, and forming it into a 3-minute segment left me enamored, and it convinced me to try to identify my own lens, my perspective of the world. In seminar, we learn about many hypothetical lenses, artistic and philosophical, political and historical, or a lens based on economics, science, or the future. They all change the way a story is told, but my perspective is different. My time at Conrad hasn't been spent looking through a hypothetical lens, but a real one, a camera lens. As cliche as it sounds, I've witnessed some of our greatest accomplishments and hardest struggles as a class. 70-point losses to 20-run victories, all from down the barrel of a Terramon 70 to 200. I've watched Olivia George hit a home run in a softball state tournament game, Charlie Wittenbach and Madeline Joyner cannonball into a swimming pool, Emily Hartnett score a goal to take the lead in a senior night soccer match with a broken thumb, and Damon Rush take the hardest hit I've ever seen and then run and scream in joy as if nothing ever happened. I've seen Elena Del Pilar get tossed in the air and gracefully stick the landing cheerleading, John Bittman get a penalty for an illegal suplex in wrestling, Shalom roll everyone in her heat in the 100-meter dash, and Gracie Wardell trample a girl who unfortunately happened to be between her and the lacrosse goal. I've seen Gianni Amore and Haley Rosario fight for second chance points over girls twice their sizes in basketball. John Downs yell at the top of his lungs after a bases clearing double in the baseball state championship. Daniel Woodward finished third in the state in digs in volleyball. And I vividly remember the boos of the crowd at a boys basketball game after Clinton Cawley missed another dunk. And then the cheers after he finally made one. These are the moments we'll remember forever, some for better reasons than others. And I'm happy I got to witness them through my lens as you perform them all through yours. I want to thank you all, the class of 2026, teachers, administrators, my parents and family, and the Conrad community overall for allowing me to find my lens. And just to break off a little bit, I want to take one last picture, my last view of you guys through my lens. I don't have my camera, sorry. Smile. There you go, that's great. And if you haven't found your lens, I'd give it a try. It'll change your whole view of the world, literally. Thank you.
So my role at this point in the ceremony is the presentation of the class. That means I have the privilege of sharing a little bit about Conrad's class of 2026 and publicly presenting this graduating class to the school board, the Red Clay Consolidated School District, and the greater Conrad school community. I also know I'm the final speaker of the afternoon, so graduates, just give me a few minutes. I'll do my best to not be too long. Class of 2026, what a joy it is to stand before you today. As you sit here in your cap and gown, surrounded by family, friends, teachers, staff, and all the people who have supported you, challenged you, and cheered you on, I hope that you just take a moment, like now, look around. Take it all in, because this moment matters. It represents the hard work, your growth, your resilience, and the many choices that got you to this stage. As I thought about what message I wanted to leave with you today, I kept coming back to this idea or this theme, and here it is. You can, but you must choose to prove yourself right. Class of 2026, the question has never been whether you all can. The question has always been whether you will. Will you keep showing up when things get difficult? Will you make choices that align with the futures you say you want? Will you believe in yourself when the path ahead is uncertain? But now, before I go further into my speech, I do want to share a few facts about this graduating class, because every year I like for our guests to understand just who is sitting before them. This class has demonstrated academic excellence at every level. 110 of you all are graduating with a 3.0 or higher GPA. Eleven students earned a certificate of multi-literacy, and 38 of you all have been recognized as AP scholars. Athletically, this class has represented Conrad with pride and excellence. Among you are 10 first-team all-conference athletes, 15 second-team all-conference athletes, and 7 first-team all-state athletes. And I would be remiss if I did not recognize our softball and baseball seniors graduating today, who helped lead us to incredible seasons this spring. Hold your heads high, and thank you for taking us on such a memorable ride. Now, because I believe in telling the whole story about our graduates, I must also acknowledge that 145 of you all had dress code violations this year, and 93 detentions for being late. So I have to say, it's truly wonderful to see everyone here today in the correct attire, on time, and ready to graduate. So class of 2026, you have given us academic excellence, athletic success, leadership talent, and a few reminders that you all are still teenagers. But in all seriousness, those numbers just show that you are capable. You have already proven that you can meet high expectations, overcome challenges, and achieve meaningful goals. But now, the next chapter in your stories will ask something different of you. It will ask you to choose. Choose discipline over distraction, choose effort over excuse, choose growth over comfort, choose integrity when no one is watching. Choose to believe in yourselves and enough to act on the futures you have imagined for yourselves. Terrell Heyman, in his senior speech, captured it well. He said, maybe adulthood is not about having all the answers. Maybe it's about becoming someone willing to continue to learn. Class of 2026, you do not leave here today with every answer. What matters is that you remain willing to learn, willing to grow, and willing to keep becoming. Sophia Martin reminded us in her senior speech, in order to be better, you have to get comfortable with doing the uncomfortable. And graduates, that's where growth lives. That's where it lives. Growth happens when you try something new, ask for help, speak up, take the harder class, or walk into a room you are not sure you belong in, but decide to stay anyway. Adam Daywood said in his speech, sometimes success could simply be just showing up, even when you really don't feel like it. Do not underestimate the power of showing up. Showing up to class on time, to school on time, but showing up to practice on time, showing up for your friends, your family, your goals, and most importantly, for yourselves. There will be days when motivation is not there, but sometimes the difference between whether you are and where you are and where you want to be is the willingness to show up. Tori Shelton gave us another powerful reminder in her senior speech when she said, I had done hard things, and that doing it sad or scared was better than not doing it at all. And that a fearful tiptoe in the right direction is still a movement forward. Now, that is a message for all of us. You do not have to be fearless to move forward. You do not have to feel completely ready to begin, because sometimes courage looks like one small, uncertain step in the right direction. It still counts. Gianni Amore reflected in her senior speech that being indecisive didn't mean she didn't care. If anything, it meant she cared a lot. It meant she understood that choices carry weight and they shape who you become. In class of 2026, your choices do carry weight. They will shape your habits, your opportunities, your relationships, your character, and your future. Choose wisely. Choose people who bring out the best in you. Choose spaces that help you grow. Choose honesty when it's easy to make excuses. Choose responsibility when no one is forcing you to. Choose the version of yourself you know you are capable of becoming. The late Whitney Houston once sang these lyrics in a song, The Greatest Love of All. And the lyrics go something like this: I believe that children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. And today, as I look at each of you, I believe those words deeply. Class of 2026, what that class of 26, that is, that I hope that Conrad has done that for you. We hope that this community has helped you not only see what you can achieve, but who you are capable of becoming. Your stories are just getting started. The next pages will be written by the choices you make, the courage you show, and the belief you carry in yourself. And I'm going to say this. The future is not passive. You do not become the future simply because time passes. You become the future by choosing how you show up in the world, how you use your voice, and how you lead the way. And one last quote from a senior speech comes from David Jimenez. He shared in his senior speech that during a moment when he felt stuck between continuing forward and changing directions, he often heard his parents' voice saying, "Ponte las pilas," which translates to "put your batteries on." And graduates, every now and then, life will require you to do just that. Put your batteries on. Refocus, wake up your purpose, or remember what you said you wanted for your life. Some of you will go on to college, enter the workforce, pursue the trade, military service, or still have paths that are unfolding as we speak. But let me be clear, there is no single definition of success. Success is about choosing a path with purpose and being willing to do the work that allows you to walk that path well. Talent may open the door, but character determines how far you go through it, or how far you go once you go through it. Class of 2026, as you leave here today, I do hope that you carry with you the character that has been shaped here at Conrad. Integrity, perseverance, compassion, and excellence. It's our Conrad way. Let those values guide you when the choices get hard. Let them ground you when life becomes uncertain. Do not be afraid of hard moments. Again, do not be afraid of hard moments. Sometimes those are the moments where you discover your strength. Sometimes the detour teaches you something the original path never could. Through it all, keep choosing to believe in yourself, speak life over yourself, but then choose actions that prove it. We are proud of you. We are proud of what you've accomplished, but we are more excited, even more excited, about who you all are becoming. Remember, as you leave here today, you are not leaving this community behind. You're carrying it with you. You will always be a part of Conrad. You will always be a Red Wolf. And no matter how far you go, we will be here cheering for you, believing in you, and waiting to see what futures you create for yourselves. Go forward with confidence, choose wisely, dream boldly, work hard, and keep growing. On behalf of the entire Conrad Network, our teacher, staff, administrators, and the greater school community, we congratulate you, we celebrate you, and wish you success, joy, and purpose in all that comes next. Congratulations, class of 2026. Now go out and prove yourselves right. Thank you. Dr. Green, members of the Board of Education, having duly certified that the members of the Conrad Schools of Science class of 2026 here assembled have met all requirements for graduation of the state of Delaware and the Red Clay Consolidated School District. It is my distinct honor to present you the Henry C. Conrad Schools of Science class of 2026. All right, graduates, here we go.
Sydney O'Connor, North Carolina State University. Atlee Yetter, University of Delaware. Oscar Acuna Aguilar, University of Delaware. Julia Abbott, University of Delaware. Sebastian Alice, Delaware Technical and Community College. Francisco Angel Alvarado, University of Delaware. Gianni Alexia Amor, Delaware State University. Leslie Baeza Sosa, University of Delaware. Carter Bartkowski, Eastern University.
Brandon Beers, entering the workforce. Bianca Barrios, Delaware State University. Landon Bissett, Pro SXMX Tech. Matthias Bishop, Delaware Technical and Community College. John Bittman, Albright College. Christina Bowen, Delaware Valley College. Simon Bowen, University of Delaware. Madeline Boyarski, University of Delaware. Sophia Braska, University of Delaware.
Donovan Burns, Cecil College. Ashley Campbell, Delaware Technical and Community College. Natalia Caraballo, Coastal Carolina University. Enrique Carino Jr., entering the workforce. Dylan Carmine, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jaden Carr, Delaware Technical Community College. Kimberly Bayon Castellanos, Lincoln Memorial University. Clinton Cawley, Delaware State University. Catherine Cedillo Cruz, Widener University.
Shalom Princess Che, Delaware State University. Daniel Choi, University of Delaware. Bernice Santora Vasquez, Delaware Technical Community College. Mia Ciartella, Delaware Technical and Community College. Moira Connor, University of Delaware. Diogenes Dominic Crusetta, University of Delaware. Abdulrahman Thamer Dawood, University of Delaware. Grace Degnars, Delaware Technical Community College. Nicholas Delabuno, Bloomsburg University.
Elena Del Pilar, military. Trevor Dennis, University of Delaware. Imani DeVore, Salisbury University. Colin Dobbs, University of Delaware. Jonathan Downs, West Virginia University. Aubrey Dufage, Delaware Technical and Community College. Piper Elligood, University of Delaware. Shanice Epps, Delaware State University. Kaylee Escobar Garduño, University of Delaware.
London Hutt Wright, Delaware State University. Jesus Escobar Mondragon, Delaware Technical and Community College. Maymuna Farouk, Newman University. Jack Fleetwood, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jacob Freer, University of Delaware. Dylan Fulton, University of Delaware. Daniel Gallagher, United States Army. Ethan Galvin, Delaware Technical Community College. Nayeli Rocio Garcia Guerrero, Goldie Beacom College.
Eduardo Garnica Adan, University of Delaware. Francis Gentry, entering the workforce. Olivia George, Wilmington University. Sydney Gerhard, Delaware Technical and Community College. Angel Gonzalez, University of Delaware. Savannah Gooden, Widener University. B. Graves, Gap Year. Terrell Heyman, Delaware Technical and Community College. Natalia Harmon, Kutztown University.
Wait for me to say your name, okay? Jalen Maurice Love, High Point University. Emily Hartnett, Washington College. Kyle Rolland Henshaw, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jimena Hernandez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Cameron Hinkle McDonald, Wilmington University. Jaden Hinkle McDonald, entering the workforce. Haley Hughes, Delaware Technical and Community College. Addison Hummel, Gap Year. Elijah Hurt, Westchester University.
Anton James, Newman University. Janiyah Jameson, Delaware State University. Abigail Janicki, St. Joseph's University. David Jimenez Diaz, University of Delaware. Jalen Johnson, University of North Florida. Madeline Joyner, Western Carolina University. Aiden Jones, Delaware Technical and Community College. Addison Keith, University of Delaware. Brett Kennedy, University of Delaware.
Diego Pisano Lopez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jordan Kennedy, entering the workforce. Craig Cook, Delaware Technical and Community College. Cameron Lee, University of Delaware. Ella Lida, Delaware Technical and Community College. Audrey Lepore, College of Charleston. Carson Little, Marshall University. Presley Lloyd, University of Delaware. Cheyenne Leffler, University of Delaware.
James Markley, entering the workforce. Sophia Martin, Rivier University. Emily Martone, Delaware Technical Community College. Carly Matarese, Delaware Technical Community College. Mackenzie McCullen, Delaware Technical and Community College. KL Mellon, entering the workforce. Daniela Milan Diaz, University of Delaware. Tracy Mora Negredos, U.S. Army. Owen Nelson, Delaware Technical and Community College.
Haley Rosario, Bryn Mawr College. Ella Rose, University of Delaware. Richie Wynn, University of Delaware. Avery Partlow, University of Delaware. Ava Patton, Newman University. Alvaro Perez Almagro, University of Murcia. Nan Fon, University of Delaware. Bodie Pierce Cogburn, College of Charleston. Nick Pissarro, University of Delaware.
Nathan Powers, entering the workforce. Matthew Pretko, entering the workforce. Abigail Putalas, University of Delaware. Marcel Ramirez, Albright College. Yandiel Ramirez, entering the workforce. Yasmin Ramirez Sandoval, University of Delaware. Michael Reeves Jr., entering the workforce. Rachel Renai, New England Center for Circus Arts. Aaron Reyes, Delaware Technical and Community College.
Caitlin Stephen, University of Delaware. Ian Stirk, Rowan University. Elizabeth Reyes Diaz, Newman University. Evan Ryan, Delaware Technical and Community College. Joshua Riley, University of Delaware. Ramon Luis Rivera Jr., Delaware Technical and Community College. Naomi Robles Lomeli, Delaware Technical and Community College. Jumadi Rodriguez, University of Delaware. Vanessa Rodriguez Reyes, Schilling Douglas School of Hair Design.
Adalia Rudolph, Grand Canyon University. Damon Rush, entering the workforce. Andrea Santos Badillo, Lebanon Valley College. Simona Sargent Santiago, Delaware Air National Guard. Gage Rabinski, University of Delaware. Amanda Scarborough, George Mason University. Aubrey Scott, Delaware Technical and Community College. Nzinga Shabazz, University of Delaware. Tori Shelton, Villanova University.
Daniel Woodward, Delaware Technical Community College. Teresa Yock, University of Delaware. Charlie Shute, Salem Community College. Jacob Skinner, University of Delaware. Ella Summers, Delaware Technical and Community College. Julian Stadelman, Florida Institute of Technology. Sophia Staker, Delaware Valley University. Vinnie Starr, Gwynedd Mercy University.
Warren Swank, Delaware Technical Community College. Jasjit Tethi, University of Delaware. William Thomas, University of Delaware. Anthony Toscano, University of Delaware. Maximiliano Villagomez Hernandez, Delaware Technical and Community College. Gracie Wardell, University of Delaware.
You got this. You're all right. You're good. Come this way. You won't stay. Garrett Wilkerson, University of Delaware. Shane Wilson, Delaware Valley University. Charlie Wittenbach, University of Delaware. Emily Whiteman, Delaware Technical and Community College. Chase Watson, Penn State University, Brandywine. Samantha Warner, Wilson College. Zion Powell, University of Delaware.
You're going to stay right up here. Would everyone please rise and remain standing for the singing of the Henry C. Conrad's alma mater performed by the Conrad Schools of Science chorus. And for my senior chorus members, come on and join us one last time. Take your time, Tabitha.
Conrad High, great alma mater, o'er all prevails. By its strength with God the Father, may it never fail. Through the years that follow, let no one e'er forget that Conrad is our alma mater, greater to us yet.
Thank you. Our guests can please be seated. Guests, please be seated. Our guests, yeah. And while we let Grace and Tabitha get back in their roles, you guys have one final thing to do as part of the class of 2026. Zion. Go and stand in the middle. Mhm.